That which within you ignites action. That's the definition of motivation. But there's this massive mistake when it comes to motivation. So I'll give you an example. If I took a 20 by 1 foot plank and I put it on the floor and I told you that all you had to do was walk across the plank and you could grab the $100 that I put on the end of that side and it would be yours, you probably would do it without hesitation. That's called motivating through a desire of success, and it uplifts people, it inspires them. But now let's say we go downtown and we find two buildings 80 stories high, 19 feet across from each other, and I take that same plank, I take the edge of the plank and put it on one side of the building, and I take the other edge of the plank and put it on the other side of the building, and take the same $100 and put it on one side and say you have to walk across these two buildings to get that $100, would you still do it? Most people would say absolutely not. Why? The difference is the second one is motivating through a fear of failure. What it tends to do is it contracts people and it pushes them away and normally creates the reality they actually don't want for themselves. I'm going to give you an example. In the 1950s, during the World Series, the Milwaukee Braves were at a tie game against the New York Yankees. It was bottom of the ninth inning, bases loaded, and Warren Spahn of the Milwaukee Braves was in the zone. And he was ready to give his final pitch that would determine the fate of the game. And as he was about to give this pitch, out of nowhere he heard time. And his coach walked out of the dugout and went to the mound to give Warren a little bit of motivation. And as he whispers in Warren's ear, he says, whatever you do, do not throw a high outside pitch. You got it. And goes back to the dugout. Can you guess what Warren threw? Yep, he threw a high outside pitch, and the New York Yankees hit a grand slam. Later, in an interview, Warren said, why would anyone ever motivate someone by telling them the thing they didn't want them to do? My point with this story is that whenever you're trying to motivate someone, you have two options. You can motivate through a desire to succeed, or you can motivate through fear of failing. What we don't realize is, when we motivate through a fear of failure, the very instance of saying something that we don't want to do creates that thought in our head. Don't think of a pink polar bear for the next 10 seconds. What are you thinking about? A pink polar bear. So every time we have a choice. You can choose to motivate through fear, or you can choose to inspire people to succeed. Either way, so it is.